Wrathion should work at the salon. Yeah, he's got terrible fashion, but he's also got the passion to make sure that his hair looks great. Wrathion can save the world from its fate. But the dragon's flair is truly grand. He snips, he styles with claw and hand. Clings line up from Dalaran to Stormwind for the sleekest cuts the realms have ever seen. Oh, Aran should work at the salon. Yeah, he's got terrible fashion, but he's also got the passion to make sure that all his hair looks great. When ancient runes in amber glow, they speak of fate in silver flow. A trembling world awaits the flair that lives within the Black Prince's hair.
Oh boy. Well, almost back, and one thing that is super entertaining, when you first log in, if you go to tab to make a character, you get the craziest, some of the craziest random combinations, short with that at the beginning, with a female Forsaken, just, man, did loaded it hilariously. Anyways, so the point of this thing is to talk a bit about things that have gone on with me in reference to the dragons, to the Dragonflight, the Drakdir, all of these kind of things. Well, there's a lot to this rambling subject. Where to begin? I did kind of make an outline, but then I don't always stick to the stuff that I start with. So again, Dragonflight in general, it's the expansion I'm still on. I know I'm like almost two expansions behind at this point, which is really kind of average for me. I'm not usually this far behind. I'm usually behind about part of an expansion. And then I'll basically just end up catching up. Usually what happens is I end up doing enough content in that expansion eventually and then want the new one. And I'm usually behind, which gives me the advantage of buying them on discount usually when a sale is happening, just because I'm so far behind. I've got some stale prices. You know, I don't try to keep up with people in the game because I just haven't been able to. There's no reason for me to play that way. So anyways, let's talk just a little bit about this. Okay, lore-wise, this is really cool. I find it to be like kind of a necessary part of filling out of Azeroth. So I appreciate they did the Dragonflight. Let's see some basic general stuff here. So we got 5 dragon aspects created by the Titans to safeguard the Azeroth. We got Alexstrasza, who represent life. We got Ysera of the Dream. We got Nozdormu of time. It's a little weird one to say, Nozdormu. We got Malygos from magic, I guess representing magic, and then we got Neltharion and Deathwing that represent Earth, I guess, Earth aspect. After Deathwings, all the remaining aspects continue to try to guide their realms. So basically, this thing did confuse me at first because I didn't know much about dragon stuff in Azeroth. I don't think a lot of people do, unless they're kind of nerdy and have gotten into it in the past. Now, obviously, with Cataclysm, you get a good amount of information about it with the whole Deathwing situation. But here, it's like this faction of these primal dragons, which do look really cool. The primalist incarnates. It's kind of like, now, I don't know if I'm using the name right, but maybe Stormtalon's not the one I'm thinking of. Maybe it is. But basically, near the beginning, the large bird, it's more like a skeletal bird than a dragon, I guess. Shoots lightning, stuff like that. Pretty awesome. So the art in this expansion is amazing. It's really well done. The areas, the characters, stuff like that is pretty good. Now, with the player characters, I want to talk about Drakdir because I've been hunting around for other stuff to do in the game. I do have a lot of different kind of paths of things I'm going down when I have time to mess with it, but it's a bit hard for me to stay on track with things for too long, so I hop around to stuff. One of those things was given an honest revisiting to the Drakdir or the Evoker because my original attempt to do it was not satisfying at all. And it's partly because when I had made my character, of the options of Drakdir, I guess I didn't set it up in a way that was very pleasing to me. So I attempted to redo that now, or like a little bit ago. And what happened is okay, so I ended up not going very far in Dragonflight. Especially with the Evoker for certain reasons when I first tried it. Going back to it, what I'll say is that I had a better time than the first time. Redoing, like, spending a little more time with character creation helped me a lot to enjoy it a bit more. But the same thing happened to me again, and which is that partway through, something doesn't gel with me, and I don't know if it's the evoked class or it's the Drakbear model or what. I could easily see how this works super well for people, but to me something feels off and weird when I play it, even though in theory I really like a lot of stuff about it. And I think I started figuring out what it is. So all these evokers are some kind of like intelligence-based caster type heroes, and I'm not sure. I guess because I have more of the melee bias in general, is part of the reason why maybe I don't enjoy them as much as I could. Oh wait, hold on a minute, folks. I'll be back. I just realized I definitely need another cup of coffee, so I'm gonna go do that. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so of course with the power to pause and stuff, there's no real contest on the recordings, but what's silly is I go to get the coffee, I come back and I kind of forgot where I was at, rambling about this. So, Dragonflight, the Evoker thing. So Blizzard, this is the thing now. This art is good, but there's something weird that doesn't allow me to enjoy this thing as much as I feel like I could, or as much as other people seem to. I think I can understand why people do enjoy it a lot. But for me, I want them to create an alternative, since they have so many allied races anyway. It doesn't have to be anytime soon, but sometime in the future, give us another, if we're gonna do something with Drakdir thing, and I don't even care how you like bring up the backstory of this with lore or whatever. It could be totally just, just make it up, like with a lot of other stuff. Just pull it out of your creator and say, hey, here's another type of Drakdir that you can play now. And what that would be a much more aggressive type model of a dragon that use like very short range attacks and melee and like grappling and stuff, because I feel like, we got claws, we got talons, we got teeth, you got you could do short range like fire burst. I would like to have a dragon weapon characters that's a dragon type, where like I'm looking at something and I can scamper up to it and like latch onto it and start clawing it up and blast it like point blank range with like a fire blast right in the faces. Boom. So these kind of ideas would be cool. I don't know if they could ever do, with the way the game works, they may just not be able to do stuff with like grappling or a type of more primal, scratchy type attack style of character. But to me, that's what it would be, is like savagely clawing through things, blasting things with short range, kind of like dragon type attacks. Would be fun. And I just feel like with all three builds of a Evoker being intelligence based, like, hold on a minute, let me sit here and cast, yeah, true, you've got a lot of movement, you've got really good play, like gameplay for what it is. I just feel like there needs to be another option for people that want another option. Which is another weird thing too about a lot of Dragonflight. The art being a combination of really good and really interestingly weird, like fashion styles to me, which feel like kind of like an extreme version of like late 90s, like, or maybe late 80s, early 90s, like hair metal kind of aesthetic to it, which I think is fine. I mean, I like a lot of things about it. But it's so hard for me to put a finger on what I'm trying to say about this. But what I will say is that, you know, Wrathion, I feel like I have conflict with his fashion sense in general, but it is super obvious that he spends a lot of time on his hair, and I find it interesting that it's so obvious, like that this is, you know, conceptual art about a made up an imaginary character that is drawn so well. It's obvious. You can like both in the game and in his art. Something that immediately stands out to me about Wrathion is like, okay, this guy takes care of his hair. You know, this is something important to him. I find, to me, this to be so hilarious. Like when I thought about this, I'm like, I don't even know psychologically or like art wise what goes into having this be the case. Because if you look through other concept art, other characters do have good hair too. Like, it's not like his hair is done so drastically differently that it like stands out for like some kind of overwhelming aesthetic reason that's super obvious. It's just something about the presentation of him as a character in general that to me draws attention to his hair. Now, I will say this too. I feel like you can't get rid of the weird big hoop earrings and stuff like he has because that's part of his motif or whatever. But he would look cooler without it because it was kind of weird to him. Just being honest, it was kind of weird. That's just about the Wrathion. I mean, something about this character has always felt bizarrely off to me. I do like I like and dislike him at the same time. Like the whole time he's around, I always feel like, geez, like I obviously feel like I can't really trust this character. Like he's bizarre, because he does the whole like I'm working for multiple sides kind of. He seems to be one of those like scheming. He's like a schemer, you know. But what the thing is, he has great hair, and what I was thinking is, you know, if Wrathion can't stay back up on his own, he needs all his help from other people. Okay, I can understand that. I mean, nobody, you know, it's okay to laugh at them. Like, you don't have to like solve it all yourself or whatever. But what he should do, and I don't know when, and I doubt they would ever do something like this in the actual game, but I feel like this guy, if he can't save the world, he can at least save the world of hair, because I feel like I've probably got the ability to do a good job as a barber. Like, I would like if one of the barbers in the game, like, cause you know, you can go to a barber NPC and get your hairstyle redone. It'd be great if like there was like a book in one of the barbershops that like care about Wrathion or something, like that they like secretly on the side as he's trying to like do all this stuff to save the world or whatever, he also has gone and like trained a bunch of people on how to like do really good haircuts and like take care of hair. So to me, it's a great like side plot story kind of thing in my head where, you know, if you go into the barber, like in the background, there should be like little things like indicating that like he was there at some point training them on like doing their hair stuff. And because some of the dragon stuff, I mean, look, some of these guys are saying like, what's this, Nozdormu time, you know, you've got Chromie, you got all these weird like time bending kind of things that go on with dragons too. Hey, it could be totally explained, man. Like, you don't even have to do it in the timeline. Like, it's like, hey, he went back in time. He had a concern. The hairstyles he was seeing were not up to his par, up to his standard. So he's gone around and helped solve this. This to me would be a great side plot, great side story. I have no idea why I spent so much time on that. I was actually supposed to talk about like 3 or 4 things not related to that. Dang, I really thought this was going to be easy to get this one done with less rambling. Okay, so I'm thinking about this again. We've got the evoker. I gave it a try. I tried different builds. I wanted to try one of these other builds. I love the idea of the augmentation damage. Like, specialization sounds cool, which would be like kind of like a supporty flash damage thing. But I think I just favor melee type interaction way better than I do with the casting. I've tried to make a mage the other day again. I like mages. I think they're cool. But I just find myself gravitating again towards more of the hacky slashy type approach, So that being said, I even thought about killing this character that I was testing here, the Drac there. But then I decided, he doesn't deserve to die. He's not that bad. The way I would describe this Dragonflight experience is like it's very hard, slightly above average. Like it's slightly above average and has a lot of good things about it. That's the way I feel about the character too, the Draktyr Evoker. It's like, I like him enough to not kill him. But he's going to sit down. I'm not going to play him for now. So don't worry, Battle Rat. We'll come back and mess with you again in the future. If we can get a melee variant, then we would definitely try that some more for sure. So something else too, I love so much about some of the newer expansions, but and I have not played the most recent ones, guys. So don't cook me if this doesn't apply, because I'll get around to figuring out how that works too here in a little while. But something I think about Classic that I always loved was just how open everything feels from the moment you step. Well, and I understand needing to pipe people through different scenes, like players through different scenes, and then have them meet up in a larger world, after having already kind of been tutorialized, or I don't know the right word for that, but after going through a type of introduction, things of that nature. But here's the thing. In these new expansions, you're like more kind of on rails, like it feels like, now maybe I haven't messed with it. Maybe I can actually just leave that place and go to another place to level. It wasn't clear at all, especially on the Evoker. Starting at level 60, it's like, what's going on? You feel like you're in like a container kind of and going on these rails until you get to the kind of the wider world opening up, where it feels more like old Azeroth. You can go different places. You definitely feel more contained. I felt that way in Shadowlands, because you have to go kind of on rails to this other place, and it's funky to go back to the other part of the world. Things like that are just weird. Whereas in the classics, like half the time I make a troll, like what I do with it immediately is walk over to the Thunder Bluff because I want to level there or something like that, where I can explore immediately. There's some dangers out there, but there's reasons to go do stuff in the world. In fact, my favorite main character for the longest time was my troll hunter. And the very first thing that I did when I got him, my friend explained to me that I wanted a bear, but I wanted a white one. Well, the low-level white bears are in the dwarf land. So I had to do, as a low-level character, like an expedition on my own to travel all the way to the Alliance land to get my bear. And for some reason, that's part of why that's still my favorite character, is because that happened, and because I was able to do that and do a personal kind of side journey to acquire the pet that I wanted. That type of thing doesn't seem to be as prevalent in the newer ones. Although the newer ones do seem to have really good art and a lot of aspects about them that I like. This is part of why a lot of times when I log in, I end up just going to other zones, like other Azeroth areas, like or past expansions that make more sense to me. Now, I'm one of these people that over time I have more appreciation for something I didn't like before. That's why I revisited Dragonflight now. It hasn't set, it's not old enough for me to really enjoy it. For some reason, I'll go back and love it later. Like, this happened to me with Warlords of Draenor. You know, by the time I fall in love with the expansion and have a great time with the garrison, everybody's moved on. It's basically pointless now. So those things happen to me a lot. This is why I like to casually just enjoy myself and have a good time. I always say this. Wrathion, very interesting. You know, he definitely gets points for the hair, but that's enough about that. And I hope that you guys have a great day. I know there was a whole series of other things I wanted to get into, but we'll just save that for another time. Anyways, this is Old Mole signing off.
Wrathion should work at the salon. Yeah, he's got terrible fashion, but he's also got the passion to make sure that his hair looks great. Wrathion can't save the world from its fate, but the dragon's flair is truly grand. He snips, he styles with claw and hand. Clients line up from Dalaran to Stormwind for the sleekest cuts the realms have ever seen. Oh, Wrathion should work at the salon. Yeah, he's got terrible fashion, but he's also got the passion to make sure that all his hair looks great. When ancient runes in amber glow, they speak of fade in silver flow. A trembling world awaits the flair that lives within the Black Prince's hair.